fun fact about me. I love the Back to the Future series. I think it's probably one of my most favorite movie trilogies ever. If I had to pick, I would probably say the second movie is most likely my least favorite, because I just don't really like the way it's presented, and the whole future thing it just doesn't seem right to me. But I can't choose a favorite, because I like the first and the third one basically equally. Now, when I heard that Telltale was making a Back to the Future game, I had the same exact reaction to their Jurassic Park game. I didn't care one bit. But the Back to the Future game, Episode 1, It's All About Time, was free on the PS3's online marketplace. So I figured, what the heck? After playing it, I have to say, I'm very impressed with what Telltale's accomplished. The story of Episode 1 is that Doc Brown has gone missing, and that the government is selling off pretty much everything he owns. After you do a few things as playing as Marty, the DeLorean, or, well, the time machine, comes out of nowhere with Einstein in it. So Marty pretty much has to find out what happened to Doc and what time he's in. After you do a few more things, you go back in time and find out that Doc has been thrown in prison. So now you have to find a way to break Doc out and get back to your original time without, breaking the course of history or whatever. The story isn't that deep, but it's interesting enough to make you keep playing the game. The whole way the game is played is like a point-and-click adventure, since that's what Telltale is known for. Basically, a point-and-click adventure game is having you go around to different areas of levels, picking up and collecting objects and using them on other objects. And that's exactly how this game works out. However, sometimes the puzzles aren't really that logical. That's really not something to complain about, since most of Telltale's point-and-click adventure game puzzles really haven't been that logical in a huge sense. A good thing about the puzzles is that they're very difficult to solve. The longest time it took me to solve a puzzle was about maybe an hour. If you want to solve a puzzle, you will have to explore a lot of areas. The way you explore objects or talk to people is to move your cursor over certain objects. Not every area of the location you're in can be inspected, but most of the areas that you can inspect are some things you're going to need to pay attention to if you want to solve the puzzle. It kind of annoys me of the fact that some of the objects you have don't need to be used to solve any puzzles. Which is kind of weird, because if you don't need them to solve puzzles, why do you have them in the first place? The graphics are fantastic to look at. They have a very bright, colorful, and shiny feel to them that make them look spectacular. I didn't notice any graphical glitches or pop-ups, so that was very nice. I can't say good things about the presentation though, because it was probably the worst thing about the game. Telltale has never had any good luck when it comes to their presentation, because it's always been terrible in most of their games. The presentation is bad because it suffers with frame rate issues, stiff character animations, unnecessary load times, and bad lip syncing. There was also a few audio glitches too. However, if you can get past all those problems, I really can't say anything else that's really bad about the game. The voice acting was amazing. I'm very surprised with the voice actor who did Marty. It's not Michael J. Fox, it's some other guy who imitates him, and he does it perfectly. They also had Christopher Lloyd come back as Doc Brown, and he also sounds really good. And the dialogue is also very fun to listen to. The controls were a bit of a mixed bag. They were done very simply, but when it comes to controlling your character by making Marty move, that's kind of where it goes downhill. The way the camera angles correspond to your character's movements is what makes the controls bad. When I want to walk left or right, I move my thumbstick left and right. But when the camera focuses on a different angle in a different area, it corresponds with the way I'm walking. So if I want to try and walk left, I could actually end up going backwards. The way I fixed this problem was by pressing one of the 4 pad buttons on my PS3 controller, and I had to do this a lot. The sound in the game was also very well done, and I loved the music they played. The music was from the movies, especially the Back to the Future theme song, and just random music that totally fitted the scenes you were in. Back to the Future Episode 1, It's All About Time, was fantastic. The gameplay is fun, the puzzles are challenging, the music and sounds are very nice, and the voice acting and dialogue are very well done. My only 2 problems with the game is that the presentation could have been done a bit better and the controls were a bit wonky. But other than that, this game is very fun. I give Back to the Future Episode 1 It's All About Time a 9 out of 10. If you have a PS3 but you're unsure if you want to play this game or not, the first episode is free on the PlayStation Marketplace. So I think you should get the first episode for free and try it out and see if you like the other ones. Now, I'm only talking about the first episode here. I can't speak for all the other ones because I haven't played them yet. So I'm going to leave the rest of the episodes up to you, but say the first episode is very fun. And I definitely think it is worth getting.
And now, something your kids are really gonna like.
Thanks for warming them up for me, butthead. Now watch me blow the lid off this joint.
Whatever you say. Rock on, Biff.